So hi, welcome to Nice Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with.
I'm Alyse, and
I'm Oscar with Lilac.
There are some questions to say about their new single, Crawl Space. So congrats on that, by the way. How you guys feel about the response to it so far?
oh my God, it's been insane. Like even before we released this song, when we were on tour with Atreyu, we kind of tested the waters with that song. Because I didn't know whether it was going to be very polarizing. Like it's a really like just raw song that just hits people in the face, and I wanted to see what people thought. But people loved it. Like there were like so many people that came up to us during even the last tour that were just like, that song like gave me goosebumps. Like that song like resonated with me. And so this now that we just released the song on October 13th, like not only have we been, we're adding to radio stations and everything, but our radio promo rep called us like a couple days ago and told us that we're the #1 most requested song in Corpus Christi already.
Oh,
And
damn,
like
congrats.
it's still just going. And Pop Evil, the tour, the same way. They're just blowing up about it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, the track fucking rips.
It's a
Thank
fucking
you.
banger. Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Your press team put you guys on our radar a couple of months ago, and now is the time we were finally able to get something on the books, and I'm fucking happy to be here. You guys fucking rock.
I love that
Oh,
so
Oh
much.
yeah.
So is there any meaning behind the single title or cover art?
Okay. So I think with so the title, that kind of goes a little bit with my my childhood. I've been through a lot. But we wrote the song, I think, more so about like anyone who has been, I guess, treated like lesser human, like if like they weren't necessarily treated like their lives matter. And so like, some people get like just like bullied or abused or just like kicked when they're down and they've just been dragged through the mud. And I wanted you to be able to like taste these lyrics, like they do not hold back. And that way, like if it said like wrist bound face first dragged across the asphalt, like this person has been through hell, and I wanted people to feel that. And sometimes those people, including me, I guess I struggled a lot with like, how can I survive in a world that doesn't care if I'm alive? Like if I died tomorrow, would somebody notice? And I'm sure that there are people all over the world that have felt like that at least one point in their lives. And so yeah, that's what we wrote it about.
Oh yeah. And any meaning behind the cover art?
So yeah, I guess since it kind of talked about like, like a little bit of my childhood, but then also with like other people that have, kind of just been dragged through the mud. Cam, our keyboardist, he's very, very good at art. And he actually created like not only the cover art for this song, but then also he's been making like a lot of our new AI designs for our stage production. We should get into that later because it's insane. And our t-shirts and stuff. He's really good. So he just took the lyric idea and like what we were trying to go for, and he made that art. It looks
Love it.
badass, I think. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
So can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for the track?
Well, this one
was a lot of fun. We actually did this with Tyler Connolly of Theory of a Dead Man. We had the opportunity to go out to California, West Valley Studios, and work with Mike Plotnikoff and Tyler. And basically it was an intense camp of of learning how to write with another professional. And for us, Alyse and I are so used to writing all our songs basically in one room where we kind of talk about how the emotion of the instrumental that Cam puts together makes us feel, right? And we kind of work off the emotion of the song. But it's always been her and I working on the lyrics. So coming into a room where there was a whole nother professional involved and we were all collaborating together, to kind of put out this product that we all had an equal part of was a really interesting, difficult, but educational process. I think that was really cool to kind of make it happen in one day. So that song, the lyrics happened in like a, I don't know, 16, 18-hour period. Plus like in the studio, just grinding it out. Does this work? Does that work? And Alyse would go into her cubby hole and come up with some lyrics, and we'd kind of go over them as a group and just go back and forth. So it was really, really cool. I mean, especially to be able to say that we worked with Tyler from Theory of a Dead Man. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tyler has such a prominent voice, right? So like, I mean, his voice is known, very well known for years and years. And so being able to still tell my story, tell our story, that we want to portray without like him having so strong of a voice. I think it was really good to be able to learn that dynamic of how we can still shine and how we can still show our voices, even when it doesn't matter who else is in the room. They're helping guide us and helping give us pointers to make that song a hit. But I think
Yeah.
but it's collaboration instead of just being drowned out, and it was a really cool learning experience for us.
That's fucking awesome.
For sure. Hell yeah. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this track and what it means to you.
mine is probably one of my own from the chorus. It's paint my life a dream, martyr for the mindless. And to me, that's just something that I was trying to kind of say in a way that, life can oftentimes be painted in this way to look a particular way, depending on the colors that are on the surface, right? But if you know a lot about painting, a lot of what happens with painting is like things are done in layers, right? Like you have those undertones of what's going on underneath the picture. And so while life can oftentimes be painted to look a particular way, like this beautiful landscape, like oftentimes you don't know the colors underneath that are layered under to give it that depth, the darkness in some places, and the light to highlight some things in some areas, to just make this ultimately pretty picture that you see, right? Like this ultimate image of, especially in the chorus, right? It's very beautiful and melodic and like very passionate in a way, but there's a lot of those layers of pain and undertones of what really took to get to that point. So that was for me what Paint My Life a Dream was kind of meant a lot to me.
Got it.
It's a really fucking good lyric.
Yeah.
I think so. What's interesting, I mean, I mentioned a couple lyrics already just off the top of the dome earlier, so I wonder if those should count for mine, because those are the ones that immediately come to mind when I'm trying to explain the song, but like I feel like the verses go so well like together, I think, to paint a picture in your head and make you feel like, oh, like wow, that was brutal, you know what I'm saying? And I just think it creates a lot of imagery, like, smile, fake, beaten, I can't evolve, like you're putting on this smile, but you've been beaten through life, bad luck slapped across my fucking face, tight grip, fat lip, put me in my fucking place, like, and it's almost like in an ironic sense, like talking about like I live to fight another day, and then I'm still in this fucking hell. I'm still in this prison, so it's, yeah, I think it's painting this picture of this person that's just been, brutal, just beaten through life, but how they can learn to still overcome it and still, get through it. Like I still got through it, but I think that you still struggle with that, how can I survive in a world that doesn't care if I'm alive?
Yeah. And the way those lyrics are pronounced in the song add to it, because it's like the pronunciation and the way that you're like beating into it with every single syllable hits even harder. Like it's very pronounced within the song.
Thank you. That was intentional. I love
figured.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool.
Oh yeah. So where was your headspace at while you guys are writing this track?
So like I wanted to remember like feeling small, like feeling like I'm this lost girl stuck in a crawl space, and so like Mike Planico. So Mike has worked with like so many people, it's ridiculous. Like they've recorded like Hailstorm and Seether and 3 Days Grace,
My Chemical Romance,
yeah, like just so many greats, right? And so I needed to find like somewhere in his studio that's like less grandiose. And so like right behind his computer is this like little like area of like I guess I could curl up in a ball.
Mhm.
And so I actually like hid behind his computer in this like little tiny like area, and that's where I wrote.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think it really helped me get back into like, you know, that headspace of being small and writing like I'm just pissed about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oscar, where was your head at?
My head was in a place of pain, I think for sure. I think Alyse and I kind of pull from our own experiences in a lot of ways. And we learn how to meld them together to tell a story, right? A lot of our songs always bring the duality of perspectives to give those different feelings and intentions and positions for each song. So for me, it was trying to pull from a place of hurt and and a place of trying to cover up these wounds, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Of almost begging out for help and almost asking the listener to see beyond what you ultimately see in the forefront, right? And understand that just because these words come together in a place of forcefulness and kind of like you were saying, like the intention, the tone, right? The way she says the lyrics in the verse, like very powerful, like it's aggressive, but it all comes from a very vulnerable place. So oftentimes we can like have this outward appearance of like toughness and anger and rage, and like we're going to be able to smack into it, and I want to paint this picture for you of who you think I am, right? Of what
Yeah.
you think I am. But underneath it all, it does come from a place ultimately of hurt, of pain, of longing for something better. And I think I was, you know, just trying to match a lot of Alyse's energy in that way and trying to kind of push that message forward as well.
Hell yeah.
For sure. Awesome. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your heads. I want you guys to describe this single for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, 6 total. No more, no less.
Brutal, raw, and real.
Hell
Ooh.
yeah.
Wow, that's so good. I'd say painful, passionate, and honest.
That's good.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
wonderful.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the track?
For me, right, I think what I would want a listener to pull from this is a sense of, in a kind of, you know, dark almost way, but like a sense of belonging, in a sense that, you know, you're not going through these difficult times in life alone. Like we do get to the other side of the story once you turn the page, you know. And we tell these stories and we try to connect with our fans in this way to be able to say, you know, we've come from these places, we go through these things. It's not like they necessarily stop in a particular way, but you should never feel like you're the only person ever going through this, and we can do this together, right, in a way.
Yeah, because like even there was a fan last night actually that what's interesting is, you know, like I've thought of like, okay, people that have been through like trauma and abuse and, you know, beaten, right? But even on the non-physical level, he was talking about like, I relate to crawl space so hard because when I was doing a custody battle, like to be able to see my son, I just wanted to see my son, and I was not given the opportunity to see him. I felt like I wasn't being treated like a full human. I felt like my life didn't matter. And how can I survive in a world that doesn't care if I'm alive? Like all I want to do is just see my son, you know? And I like, so even his story was just like, holy crap, you know, a lot of people can relate to that chorus, you know, and in whatever they're going through. And so it's bad that you're connecting, but at the same time, like it's I'm glad that you know that you're not alone. Absolutely.
For sure. So are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments in the creation of this track, positive or negative?
Let's see. In the creation of the track, I mean, I think it I mean, I
think
don't know,
the
like
whole process of it, I mean, because it came, for the most part, it came together in one day,
yeah,
you know. And I think it was just so intense to say, okay, like there's nowhere to go, there's no phone to check. There's no like, I got to go run out to run this errand. But it's like, we're here for the day to just grind it out. And I think that mentality of just, you're not going anywhere to work on the song. And in a room, again, we worked in it with Mike, with Tyler, Alyse, and I, and Cam. And so you have a lot of energy in a room, almost not necessarily competing, right? But there is that kind of friction created with different ideas and personalities and perspectives on where the song should go. So I think kind of learning right in that same room at the same time that we had just met Tyler, and we were gonna start writing with him, and we were going to push this song forward, and we're like, we need to start recording today. You know, it was just intense. And we you know, that the pressure, the friction that creates is that was probably for me one of, you know, the most challenging things that arose.
I think it was for me, like, so Cam has this way of like, so Cam writes all of our instrumental like skeletons, by the way. Like, so when we're like, he's just like this mad scientist when it comes to sounds, and he likes to take like different voices and then turn them into synths and then reverse them and then add distortion to them, so they just don't sound human, and they sound like 3 years ahead, you know, like it's like I don't know, he likes playing with weird sound, and he'll make sounds out of anything, like a branch, and crack it, and then he'll add so many different plugins to it to where it doesn't sound like a branch at all anymore. Now it sounds just human. And so anyway, he'll come up with these songs, and then you know, our other instrumentalists in the band, like, you know, they'll tweak, they'll add their expertise. But then when it comes to, okay, now it's time for us to sit down and write to it, right? So Oscar and I will feel what this emotion is giving us. Is it giving us sadness? Is it, or do I feel empowered? Do I feel angry? Like, how do I feel? And then we write about it. And so like I had touched on my, like, you know, past before with Heirloom, and I think, you know, just kind of going over like, hey, we've written a song about childhood trauma before. Like we've written like, you know, Heirloom saying like, I'm not afraid of the monsters under my bed, I'm more afraid of the voices in my head. You know, I bet not even the monsters could do what you did, you know. And it touched a bit with that, and just like how, you know, now you're fighting, you know, the demons that are in your head now, and that's the main thing that hurts you later on in life. I'm no longer like intimidated by a human, you know, I can fight back. But I think it's more so the things that, you know, mess up my head that I struggle with. So I felt like I don't know, I just didn't get it out. Like, I don't know if it was too vague. I mean, it's a great song. I love Heirloom, and a lot of people relate to it, but I felt like it just wasn't released out of me. So like Cam, and I talked to Cam about this, and so when I wrote Crawl Space, it was pouring out of me, and I was like, I don't know if this is this a lyric a little too much? Like, is it like, oh God, like, should I like pull this back? Should I rein it back a little bit? You know? And he was just like, no, and he was just like telling me to push harder and harder with these lyrics to make them more and more brutal. And I mean, I know, all I know now is that we went to Vegas for 6 weeks to write and record our new album with Kane Sherko. And Kane Sherko is amazing too. I mean, he's written with like In This Moment and Five Finger Death Punch and Ozzy Osbourne, Disturbed. The dude's amazing. But I didn't have to write about it at all. like we wrote about completely different concepts and stuff, you know, because Crawl Space let me get it all out of me, and I feel good. I feel good about that.
And putting out a song as vulnerable as that, was there, granted it's been almost a month, but was there any sort of like anxiety putting yourself out like that?
Yes. Holy crap. I think we were all talking about, like, you know, like it, especially like if this song blows up, like how much do you guys want to know? You know, like you know, figuring out like what that balance is. And then also like are people gonna, I mean, the lyrics are polarizing. So if people like the perfect drug, where we're like sexy and you know, like I can be your perfect drug, but I'm still, you know, struggling with, you know, I don't think I can love you back, I'm still healing, right? And so going from those kind of songs to like this song, it just rips. And so I don't know I didn't know what our audience was gonna think, but it's so far people are loving it.
That's awesome.
So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned a new record. Gotta ask, what can fans expect? What can you tell us? Spill whatever beans you can.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh man, it's so cool. I'm so excited for it. We're all so excited for it.
he's like Cam.
Yeah, exactly. So Kane and Cam were like these two mad scientists working in the studio together to put all these sounds and intentions in everything. And I really think our fans and anybody listening to it, compared to listening to Perfect Drug, our first EP, can just see how we're avidly trying to level up everything we're doing in terms of our sound production and our composition and the organization of everything, and intention in the vocals, and you can hear it in the lyrics as well. Kane was super accommodating to wanting to bring a modern sound out of our songs, and not put us into this, generic box of, hey, you have the rock and rap aspects, there's this list of bands that like already doing this. Let's go ahead and just rebuild that formula.
Yeah.
And Kane was, just like, no, bring what you have to the table, and let's see, and let's form, and let's work together. And
Really played on our strengths.
oh yeah. We had, in this track, there's really modern hip hop elements, there's deep electronic music, there's strong pop elements where she's singing these crazy high notes and just showing off her vocal range beautifully. And the cool thing is like, where in a lot of spaces we may have been kind of reined in and be like, hey, rock is this box right here.
Mhm.
Kane was like, no, let's explore and let's give people something they don't know they were looking for, in a way.
Yeah.
And so it's 5 tracks that are going to absolutely smack, and everybody on this tour with Pop Evil and Fame on Fire that we're on right now, we got a couple weeks left, is getting to hear these songs for the first time.
Yeah, we're shopping them right now. We're literally showing anybody who comes to this Pop Evil tour, which I guess we haven't even mentioned that. We're on tour with Pop Evil and Fame on Fire right now.
Hell yeah, right now.
Quit Disney tomorrow.
right. We're playing in Orlando tomorrow, and then after that we'll be in Charleston, and then we're gonna head up to like Ohio and Michigan and stuff. But yeah, definitely check out us on lilac.com. It's LYLVC.com/events, and you can see all of the cities that we still have on the list to hit until
Come out of here, the new songs.
Yeah, right. The new songs are freaking popping.
Yeah,
like, everybody loves them. And people are asking us like, what was this song? When is this one going to be released? So I'm already really excited to start building the music videos for them and everything.
You guys got me stoked for the record. I'm bummed I missed the Jersey show. It came through on Saturday and I couldn't make it.
Are you based out of Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right on. I'm originally from Long Island, so we were neighbors.
Nice. Yeah, close enough.
It's been incredible so far, and that's kind of the cool thing we get to do about getting to do this tour so early after having written those songs, right? We had, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks to prepare for this tour, but we were committed that because we worked for 6 weeks in Vegas with Kane Churko. And basically, as soon as we got home, I was like, okay, we have a couple of weeks to get ready for tour, but we definitely want to play these songs. So we kind of just jam-packed as much rehearsal time as we could get in to be able to play these songs, and maybe finished a couple rehearsals in the first few shows, but who knows, that happened, whatever. But it was really cool to kind of watch those songs come together, honestly, in front of a crowd, and really watch this tour help us form what these songs are going to sound like for the next tours and the next groups of people coming up.
Yeah, it was so it's interesting because like when we wrote with Tyler, it's like practice run, writing with someone, right? Like we wrote that song in one day. Like Carl's, I granted it was a very long day. We started in the morning and we went until like after midnight. Like
mind you, that was the lyrics, not the instrumental. Cam had been working on that instrumental for a minute.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah. But anyway, like with Kane, we were in Vegas for 6 weeks writing with him, well, and he's a lot like Cam, like we were talking about, like he's like they were like 2 peas in a pot. He likes making weird synths, and so Cam would be like, have you ever heard of this this plugin that no one's ever heard of that I found like somewhere in the deepest, darkest places of the web? And then Kane was like, no, have you ever heard of this plugin? These are so weird and like the sounds are crazy. And so they were just
Two neon peas in a pod.
Yeah.
We got along, and they were making jokes about like, so when we started our side project, and so like, when things are about to go down, when your main, when your instrumentalist is like really clicking with the producer, and like they're just like really, like talking and chatting about like weird sounds and how to make things future but still sound now, and I think it was really, really cool.
Hell yeah, I love that.
Totally. That's amazing. So because you guys are on tour, we got to ask, what is your go-to tour snack if you're at a gas station or a rest stop?
Oh man. Oh, I had a terrible night last night, and I had like I was like, I don't care anymore. I need to go for it. And I ate a whole bag of hot fries.
Oof.
Oh,
Hot fries,
Oh.
hot fries and cook, and I don't need the judgment. I feel it, but
no,
we're feeling your pain with you.
yeah, no. Like I woke up this morning and my fingers were like dyed red from hot fried like crusties, and I was like, I did something shameful last night that I probably shouldn't talk about it in an interview, but apparently you guys are gonna pull it out of me.
So, I have my tour vices. But gas station ones, I don't know. So, all right, my main tour vices are, I love local raw honey. I know that's not from a gas station, okay? But I get local raw honey from like pretty much almost every state that we stop at. And like this tour specifically, I actually brought like 6 jars of just North Carolina honey just to start me off, okay? I don't know. I go through a lot of honey with my tea and things like that, and I think it just helps with like the seasonal allergies and stuff like that when you get around every different area. I just like it. But they make jokes about how I need, like how I just like need a dealer. They mainline it into my veins. But yeah, like. And then I'm very particular with my voice, like with all these high notes, especially, like I don't want to drink coffee before I sing. I don't drink alcohol, before I sing. So like the entire tour, I'm just very particular about my voice, just making sure I'm good to it. But then after I'm done singing, boom, I want coffee, I want a Red Bull, I want and so I love that. But then if I go to gas stations, I like I like the extra cheesy Cheez-Its. Like I know they have like the extra toasty kind and like the regular kind and white cheddar kind. I like the ones that say extra cheesy, and they're very hard to find. Like some gas stations have it, but many gas stations don't. And so when I find like the one that has it, I tend to buy like 6 bags, and I shouldn't.
Yeah, we've definitely never driven to more than one gas station looking for extra cheesy Cheez-Its. Never happened.
Definitely not.
No, not at all.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah. And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Okay, so here's the question though, because there are caveats. Like, because can it be like all you can eat buffet, and is there a time limit on like how, like, can I just keep like ordering and slowly eating?
You can eat as long as you want to.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going all you can eat Chinese buffet.
All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And what?
No, I just oh god. No, okay.
Yeah, I'm living for a long time on death row,
Yeah.
On this.
And what drink are you gonna have with that?
Oh wow. Dude, I'm a Coca-Cola fanatic. Gotta watch that.
Thanks for clarifying.
Coca-Cola fanatic. So dude, I try so hard not to drink it. I used to be on like so I used to work in fast food, and I used to drink like 2 liters of soda a day. And like horrible. So that is definitely also one of my vices. So soda, Coca-Cola, and apparently all you can eat Chinese food on death row.
All right.
Yum.
I feel like it's a great answer.
All right.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
For me, I would love
I don't know what it is.
like duck with like
French food?
some some
Yeah,
sort
I
of French
knew it.
cuisine.
I knew it.
I love French cuisine. Yeah, so maybe like some duck with like some wine reduction sauce or like or lamb. I love lamb as well. But yeah, I love mashed potatoes. So if I could get some potatoes with that and like some like amazing sauce or wine sauce or gravy with that. And then chocolate mousse. Definitely some dark chocolate mousse would be amazing. And then drink wise, I love craft cocktails. So like I don't know, anything that's weird. Like
We are nothing alike.
I
We are
love
nothing alike at
craft
all.
cocktails.
My God.
Like if it's weird,
How
like
are
the
we in a
weirder
band
the better.
together?
If it has like egg whites and like smoked rosemary with like like if it's weird and I don't know what half of this stuff is, but it's very culinary and it's supposed to taste really cool. I want that. I want it as weird as possible.
Sounds good.
I went to a place in Chicago that actually like they have like a Bunsen burner and it made drinks like where it had to slowly like it burned it and it slowly dripped out the drink and that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So yeah, big fan of craft cocktails.
Hell yeah.
Big fan. Hell yeah. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
So, okay, are you just a person living in that world, or are you one of the characters also involved in what can happen in that fictional world?
I usually say you're kind of like a bystander. If like powers are like a common thing in that world, like you could have a power, but
Okay.
it's like I'm not gonna be like, yeah, you could be Iron Man.
Ah.
Sorry.
Trixie. Oh man, that's a good. Oh. Okay, Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'd probably be a hobbit.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I was just gonna talk about eating food and drinking all day. So
that's usually the main point that I bring up. It's like fucking 8 meals a day. You got your pipe, you got your drink, you're good, man.
Yeah, you're good all day, for a week.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Yep.
Please, chilling. That's vacation.
I love
For
that. I really think that telekinesis would be cool. Like a lot of people want to fly, but I feel like if I just like put an object underneath me, then I can make myself fly.
True.
Oh, yeah.
So I think telekinesis would be good. So the movie Chronicle, where it's like real life and they just like they fell into that hole and it kind of made them start developing telekinetic powers and they could just build it, like strengthen it and the strong, I want that because then it's like realistic and I don't know, I can feel like I can grow my powers and I can make them stronger and stronger and then I can like be like, yeah, I did that. I don't know.
All right.
Saying nothing alike.
And I've thought of asking the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. So what's your favorite color?
Green.
Purple. How could you
Wonderful.
not highlight? Are you kidding me? Jesus.
Come on.
Great.
You get one shot.
And you blew it.
I mean,
one moment.
my whole life. Yeah, I like lilac a lot.
All right. And so, as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Yeah, I go to our social media. Go to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere, and type in LYLVC. We're Lilac with a V, baby. Yeah, check out our upcoming tour dates. Stay tuned for the upcoming music. We got a lot of music headed your way. We have a lot of unreleased songs, not only from Kane Churko in Vegas, but also other songs that we wrote while we were in LA with Tyler. And so, yeah, lots coming out. Please stay tuned on our social media.
And please come out. We're still out on the road right now with Pop, Evil, and Fame on Fire for a couple more weeks. We're playing in Orlando tomorrow night. We're playing Charleston, South Carolina the day after that. And then we're going into Michigan and Ohio and some Midwest dates. So please, lilac.com/events.
Rock out with us.
We'll see you guys out on the road.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Sonos guys. Been Alyse and Oscar from Lilac, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.